Because at the end of the day, it's a really good idea to send armoured engineering vehicles to fight tanks, but let's get into this.
Won't you start the music, get into it, won't you dance with me? Find the bass and lose it, you can do it, won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment.
So what is going on, guys? It is your boy Garage Gaming here, and today we are going to be looking at this pre-order bundle, which is also a Devblog, titled the Centurion AVRE Engineer at War. This vehicle's full designation is the FV 4003 Centurion Mark V Armoured Vehicle Royal Engineers 165, due to its 165mm demolition cannon, which fires 60-pound HESH projectiles. This is purely for breaching obstacles. However, I can see the practical application of this in-game, because people would want this to be a derp tank. Traditionally, a premium tank should be vehicles like this that don't really fit in. However, I don't see this being an effective vehicle at all, but people are going to buy it because, well, Britain needs a rank 5 premium. However, let's get into the Devblog, and then I'll explain why I don't think this thing will be effective afterwards. So, the Centurion Armoured Vehicle Royal Engineers, Engineer at War. In short, a perfectly protected premium rank 5 armoured vehicle based on the Centurion Mark V with a steel scoop and a powerful cannon, each shot roughly 5 times more powerful than standard HESH shells. Yeah, well, that's, not much to say at all, because Centurion HESH shells aren't that strong because of the nerfs, but let's go into it. So the kit includes a Centurion Mark V AVRE, rank 5 Great Britain, premium account for 15 days, 2,000 golden eagles, bicolor desert camouflage, a pre-order bonus decal, which is actually really cool. It's the emblem of the Corps of Royal Engineers, and then the pre-order bonus, the unique Royal Engineer title. So yeah. In our game, the Centurion AVRE will be one of the first rank 5 premium tanks in War Thunder Update 1.79. The vehicle is already available as a pre-order as part of the pack. The tank is very unusual for not only the British tree, but the top tier tanks in general. Now let's open the history tab and see how much. Not much at all, because this tank doesn't have a lot of history. I know that it served in the Gulf War off my memory, but let's check this out. So, in the 1960s, the British Army felt the need for a modern multifunctional engineering vehicle. They chose the Centurion Mark V main battle tank base to replace the outdated engineering tank which used a Churchill chassis. Since the engineering vehicle's task was rather specific, the Centurion chassis was given special equipment. The tank received a bulldozer scope, a device which was mounted above the scoop for laying fascines, I think that's what they're called. Those rolls of sticks, I think that's what they are. The altered rear armour plate was equipped with a tow hitch, and a seat was installed next to the driver's seat for the new 5th crew member and navigator. The engineering vehicle, which was called the Centurion Armoured Vehicle Royal Engineers, which they have the abbreviation next to it, was designed to carry a special engineering gun capable of destroying fortifications, pillboxes and other fortified defensive positions. The gun was a short-barreled L9, a 165mm cannon with a low recoil. The vehicle received an ammunition complement of 53 shots with high explosive squash head shells with a huge destructive force, each containing almost 16 kilograms of explosives. The Centurion AVRE became the standard engineering vehicle for the British Army and participated in several armed conflicts, including the 1991 Gulf War. There we go. In the 80s, Centurion AVREs were modified to receive additional armour, including the Romor reactive armour. This modification was used in Desert Storm, and the vehicle was retired in 1993, and rightfully fucking so. Centurions. This design came from the 1950s. In terms of its mobility characteristics, the Centurion AVRE is somewhat inferior to other top-range tanks. The tank's increased weight really shows. The tank's armour outclasses that of the senior Centurions. Firstly, it has a fully fledged reactive armour, and secondly, the front of the hull is additionally protected by add-on steel plates. In addition, the steel bulldozer scope can protect against HE shells in some cases, fulfilling the role of a kind of space armour plating. The tank's survivability on the battlefield is noticeably improved, also thanks to the addition of its 5th crew member and relocation of the ammunition complement to the front of the hull. The tank's main feature is its cannon. The Centurion AVRE's 165mm cannon will bring back happy memories from fighting in high caliber low rank SPGs, and the opponent literally breaks in half from a successful hit from your gun. The explosive mass in the engineering Centurion's HESH shell is 15.7 kilograms, which is 5 times more than the 120mm HESH shells of other tanks. While other tanks at high tier have superior defense against hits from ATGMs and HE shells, a good old demolition bomb can do a lot of damage. A hit with armor penetration is fatal for any target on the battlefield. A hit without penetration can deal critical damage to the enemy tank's tracks, engine, or gun. With a little finesse, the low velocity of the gun will even allow you to fire from behind low cover or terrain. This is entirely new and unusual on tank battles at higher ranks. This is going to be one of those tanks that... So people will want to buy this to get access to higher tier British vehicles, because the only premiums they've really got are the Stritzwagen 81, and that's about it. So people will buy this tank. The problem is, this is going to be one of those quirky tanks, and the way I see it, it's going to be able to defeat any Heat FS rounds that it comes across, at least initially. Like Spaced Armor fucks with Heat FS, you know, and the ERA. The problem is it's got a lot of gaps in its frontal armor, especially around the turret. Like the turret ring is completely exposed. The gun fires HESH, and HESH is now dog shit in War Thunder. The 183mm gun on the FV4005 Stage 2 deals fuck all damage. Like, you'd expect a gun that big to one-shot, but a lot of times I've fired the gun, or been shot at, sorry, by that gun, and I've survived. And I sit there going, I shouldn't have survived that, you know. But seeing that, I don't think this gun will be any different. I think the HESH shells will completely underperform. I think that, you know, what's going to make this tank suffer is the same reason the Abrams does so well. The Abrams is fucking mobile. This tank is already based on a slow chassis, and now that it's got, you know, the gun probably weighs a pretty similar amount, but you've got all this add-on equipment, the bulldozer, the ERA plates, the crane, all that other shit, an extra crew member, you know. All these things put together are going to mean this tank is going to be slow as shit, so I don't really see this thing being that combat effective. It is a quirky vehicle, I do appreciate that as a collector, but I don't see this thing being that worth it. I'm sorry, but to each their own, you can spend your money on what you want. I am your boy Garage Gaming, and I hope to catch you guys next time.